Yes.
You said King James was a black man.
Here you go right there.
He was not a black man.
He's right there.
Where do you think he's a black man?
I got that out of the book James the 6th. Look what it says right here. It's all out of the book. Right here.
I don't know, but I researched on the internet. He was a white homosexual.
Yeah, because
Sister, who told you that?
Such a known fact.
From where?
King James was a white homosexual.
From where? What history book?
Research King
Brother,
James.
I mean, sister, I got the books.
Well, I don't know what book you got that from.
Brother, sister, this is the book of King James, the brother right here.
I don't know. And that
You
is
know what?
white man.
And guess what? In Islam, they have lied on King James to push people out of the book into the Quran.
That's not true.
You must be a Muslim.
That's not true. Yes, I am.
And yeah, so continue with the lies.
Yes, sir. Proud to say it.
Okay.
When we came here from Africa, we were Muslim.
And we were converted by Arabs that was raping and destroying our women.
Where do you have that from?
Oh my
Where do you
goodness.
have that from?
History, sister.
All right. Well,
Arabs, how can you have an Arab belief when your people were believing in Christ and believing in Moses before Muhammad was born?
okay. But wait a minute. What? Abraham did not worship Christ. When you go back to the beginning, they did not worship Christ, they worship God. And Islam is
Hold it.
Allah, to God.
Sister.
And that's all that Allah means.
Sister, I got something for you real quick.
Yeah, please.
What year was Islam founded?
Islam has no beginning.
It don't? Somebody give me the book from Babylon at Timbuktu. Who's the prophet of Islam?
There were many prophets.
I'm talking about
There were many prophets.
the only prophet under the credo.
No, you're talking about Muhammad, but we're talking about
no,
Islam. What
brother.
does Islam mean?
Brother.
What does Islam mean?
Excuse me, sister. Excuse me, I keep on calling you brother. Listen to me what I'm saying, sister. Sister, I'm asking you. I'm asking you a question. Who was the first prophet?
There were many. Okay, going back to the beginning of
No, I'm not.
Bible,
Listen.
Adam.
Okay.
You wanna say Adam.
Okay. Well, let me go directly to the point. What prophet is to be acknowledged under Islam that you must accept as the only prophet of Allah?
No, there's what? Prophet Muhammad? But he's not the
No,
only.
I'm asking you. I didn't listen, but I'm asking you. Before Muhammad was on the scene, was there any religion called Islam?
No.
Hold that now. What was it called before Muhammad was born?
There's really, it's Islam.
No.
Wait.
There was
What
no
is the meaning of
Islam.
What is the meaning
Brother,
of Islam?
sister, I'm not talking about the meaning. There was no religion in the earth. Hold up, listen, sister, let me speak and I'm going to let you speak. There was no religion in the earth before the 7th century called Islam. Not what it means. There was no religion in the earth before the 7th century, before Muhammad was born, called Islam. So I'm giving you a distinct question because there was a worship before Muhammad was born in that same region. And I'm asking you, what was that?
Total submission to God.
Hold up.
And that's what Islam means.
Hold up. Total submission to God? When we know the Arabs had one God for each day of the year under Persian mythology before Muhammad was born?
And that's what Prophet Muhammad came here.
Listen,
that's why he came to
so you just contradicted yourself.
No, monotheism.
Listen.
He turned people back to monotheism.
Okay, listen. So now, you're right. So if Muhammad brought monotheism to the Arab world, listen, if he turned them back to that, what was they worshiping before Muhammad was born?
They were pagans.
Thank you. Now, what was it called? Persian mythology. Now, because you got some learned brothers here, and I'm glad you all learned. Listen to this. What idols were they worshiping?
Now, as far as that, I really don't know.
The Kaaba was one of the idols the pagans were worshiping before Muhammad was born.
The what?
The Kaaba.
You mean the Kaaba?
Yes. You can pronounce it potatoes, patatas. Kaaba, Kaaba. It doesn't matter. Listen. The Kaaba stone was being worshipped in Persian mythology before Muhammad was born. And that's an idol.
Okay.
And the Most High, even in the Quran, it tells us not to bow to any idols. Now, somebody hold, I got a Quran. I got a Quran. Now, I have one right here. Thank you. You know Arabic?
Do I know Arabic? No, not.
Okay, all right. Now, I'm gonna get it. Now, first of all, I don't ascribe to the Quran. Why? Because this extrapolated from the Torah and the Tanakh, which is the Holy Bible, Old Testament. Without the Torah and the Tanakh, you would not have a Quran. Moses, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, these were all Israelites that Muhammad tried to uphold as prophets. Nowhere in the Bible does it tells us to follow an Arab as a prophet. So we don't acknowledge him. Okay, we acknowledge the prophet of the Old Testament. And do you know that even in the Quran, it upholds us as the chosen people, not Arabs?
You mean us who?
The children of Israel. We're the children of Israel, we're not Arabs.
Okay, I go with you that we are the original Israel, yes. Okay, because when you go...
Well, that's a ball of confusion. You're the original Israelite, that's a Muslim?
Wait a minute, we are the original. We're talking about black people, original.
I'm not talking about black people.
Everything came from us. So when you're talking about Israel...
I'm not talking about black people.
What are you talking about?
Okay, listen, because there's different races. There's African people that's not our family line. Ham had 4 sons. Egyptians, Ethiopians, North Africans, and South Africans. And we don't come from either of those 4 sons. We're Shemitic. We're not Hamitic. We're not African.
Okay,
Now, before we get too far off the beaten path, I'm going to show you in the Quran that it tells you that the Arabs are not the chosen people. We are. Get that in Kal and in Surah 122. We're going to read it out of your book. Yes, I've read the Quran. And you know what? All the good stuff in it came from our Bible. Read. Read it. Let me shut it off.
O children of Israel.
Oh, who?
Children of Israel.
Of Ishmael?
Israel.
Ishmael?
Israel. Remember my favor, which I bestowed upon you.
Even in the Quran, the favor is bestowed upon the children of Israel, which are our people. So why should I follow something that extrapolated from my forefathers? Why should I follow an Arab plagiarism of my forefathers' records? Why should I follow Muhammad when Christ said there would be no more prophets after him? Christ is the last prophet, not Muhammad. And what they did, they demeaned Christ's role and upholding an Arab as the prophet now. And guess what? The Arabs should be honoring you because your records allowed them to make the book that Muhammad couldn't read or write because he was illiterate.
That's true.
So, you should honor, and I like the fact you got your head covered. A lot of sisters don't even understand that. That's one thing that was a Middle Eastern custom that come from the children of Israel. Okay? Now, we respect that you are knowledgeable and you're following history, but, sister, you have to put down anything the nations gave us, including Islam, and come back to your true origin, which is Israel, sister. Because you can still practice your righteousness and teach your daughter and your children righteousness and cover yourselves like you do in Islam, but you'll be getting your history beyond the Arabs.
Okay, so what was the religion of Abraham and everyone before him? What was the original?
Let me show you. Let me show you.
Since you say it's not Islam.
I'm going to show you the original. Get me, read Genesis 14 and 13. Read that. What did Abraham deal with? You know Abraham, our father, right? Read.
Genesis 14 and 13. And there came one that had escaped and told Abraham the Hebrew.
Abraham the what?
Abraham the Hebrew.
Abraham the what?
Abraham the Hebrew.
Abraham the Hebrew.
But you're taking out scripture out of the Bible, out of the Quran. But also in the Quran, it does say that Abraham did teach his children to practice Islam.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Of course it would say that in the Quran, but this is what I'm saying, sister. What I'm reading here was written over 4,000 years.
And it was...
Listen. What I'm reading here, matter of fact, was over 5,000 years before this book was extrapolated from our records. Muhammad wasn't even born when Abraham got this message here. We were dealing with the Torah and the Tanakh, which is the prophets, and the Torah, which is the law. Thousands of years before Muhammad was born. Christ was in this earth hundreds of years before Muhammad was born. So, Christ wasn't reading out of the Quran. Abraham wasn't reading out of the Quran. Isaiah, Jeremiah, all the prophets were not reading out of the Quran. And hold up, here's another thing. They used deceit to bring their prophets into our book. No place in the book does it say that an Arab would come at the very end that we should follow. And since you're here, and if someone is a prophet, sister, Okay? If someone is a prophet, they're known for prophecy or something prophetic. Now listen. So my question is, since Muhammad was a prophet, I need you to tell me one thing Muhammad prophesied that came to pass.
Well, that I don't know, but I need you to answer a question for me. Okay, answer me something.
Sister, I'm going to answer a question, but I'm going to answer it. If you don't know, then I'll let you go.
Okay, well,
I'm going to ask one more time. A prophet is known for prophecy. Like, for instance, Christ said there should be wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, that they're going to round people up. Everything Christ said would happen is happening.